Can you believe that a single day in the life of a rebellious teenage girl could spark one of the most enduring and beloved body swap stories in pop culture history? That's exactly what happened when Mary Rodgers published her 1972 novel, Freaky Friday. Since then, the tale of a mother and daughter magically switching bodies and gaining a deeper understanding of one another has been reimagined time and time again. In books, movies, television, even on the stage, becoming a cultural touchstone for generations. From its origins in literature to its anticipated return in 2025 with Freakier Friday, here is a sweeping, in depth history of Freaky Friday, the franchise that's captivated the hearts for people for over the half century. Mary Rodgers, a talented author and composer, released Freaky Friday in 1972. It told the story of a 13-year-old girl who was a typical teenager. She'd be frustrated with her controlling mother and wanted to get away from her. One Friday morning, after an argument, Annabelle wakes up in her mother's body without warning, without explanation, forced to juggle her mother's responsibilities, including caring for her younger brother, Ben. Annabelle begins to see her mom's perspective. She begins to understand what her mom had to go through and the complexities of adulthood. This was a generational defying story. The novel was something that hadn't been seen before. It mixed humor and heart. It tackled themes like empathy, identity, and family bonds. Its success was with both critics and readers alike, and it would lay the groundwork for a multi generational franchise. The book's quirky first person narrative helped bring the teenager to life, and this is what resonated with audiences. Just 4 years later, Walt Disney Productions released the first ever film adaptation of Freaky Friday. It would star Barbara Harris and a young Jodie Foster. The movie retained its original heart and brought new elements to the cinema. The screenplay was written by Rodgers herself and cleverly expanded the novel's premise. It was a memorable addition to the book. It made something unique. It brought the novel to life. Jodie Foster was just 13 at the time and had already had a string of acclaimed roles, but she brought a new depth to the character. Praise would be seen everywhere for the film, and it would bring a new fan base, bringing together parents and children. The Walt Disney Productions did it again. After the success of the film, Disney would put any future production on the back burner. But this wouldn't stop Rodgers from writing novels using the characters, which she would do. It wouldn't be until 1995 when Disney would reintroduce Freaky Friday to a new generation with a made for TV version. This would star Shelley Long and Gabby Hoffman. This adaptation, airing as part of The Wonderful World of Disney on ABC, updated the setting and incorporated magical amulets as a body swap mechanism. Being a made for TV movie, it didn't have the same popularity as that movie did in the 70s, but it still retained the same theme and elements. And being Disney, they could see potential. They understood that this could open doors for them in the future. So once again, they would put Freaky Friday on the back burner, but they would know there could be opportunity for it in the future. In 2003, the movie would once again be revitalized. With a theatrical release directed by Mark Waters, it would star Jamie Lee Curtis as Tess Coleman and Lindsay Lohan as her teenage daughter Anna. The plot would be modernized and the story would be modernized as well, but they would hold on to the emotional core. They would bring in new elements and also new ideas. They would also introduce new characters, and it would be a career defining performance for both Curtis and Lohan. It would be something that Disney would hold on to for years to come. Lohan was fresh from her breakout role in Parent Trap in 1998, which was also a Disney film and was a massive success in the box office. Utilizing her name and Jamie Lee Curtis' history, the film would be a box office hit, grossing over $160 million globally on a $26 million budget, and it would garner an 88% approval rating on Rotten Tomatoes. It also earned Curtis a Golden Globe nomination. It was a coming of age story. It was something that hadn't been seen before, and it brought the characters to life to the big screen once again. What made the film work was its family friendly ideas, but also the fact that it was relatable. Every parent who had a teenager knew that fighting was involved, arguments would happen, and that if they could walk in each other's shoes just once, they would get a better understanding of what they're going through on their day to day life. And that's what made Freaky Friday so successful when it came out. It was a marketing hit, it was a sensation around the globe, but it retained the Disney heart. After the success of the film, though, Disney sort of went quiet with the franchise. Though many were expecting a sequel or something in Disney fashion, nothing would happen. Though Rodgers would co author a book called Freaky Monday that would happen in 2009, where a student would switch bodies with a teacher. It would not be directly part of the Freaky Friday saga, but it added a new element to Rodgers' storytelling. But this would be the only thing that came out of it. Nothing else would really happen with the franchise. Until, of course, Disney would take another stab at it. In 2016, Freaky Friday leapt onto the stage as a musical produced by Disney Theatrical Productions with music from Tom Kitt and Brian Yorkley. This would be another big sensation. People would want to go see this stage show. And in 2018, Disney would even take the stage show and adopt it into a Disney Channel original movie. That's right. They took a book, adopted it to a movie, adopted the movie to another movie, to another movie, to a stage show, back to a movie. So, another form of Freaky Friday would see the public eye once again, this time based off of the stage show. But this set the seed. This was the opportunity. Disney was testing their market. Disney always does things calculated. They wanted to know if the market still existed for Freaky Friday, and what they kept hearing was the characters were Jamie Lee Curtis and Lindsay Lohan. Though Lohan had her legal troubles, Disney knew if she could get it together, they could bring her back to the public eye, and that's exactly what they did. The sequel of Freaky Friday, Freakier Friday, in 2025 is set to release, and it's going to be another hit. People have been waiting for this film. They wanted to see Jamie Lee Curtis and Lindsay Lohan together on the big screen again. Of course, many people are asking, will it recapture the same magic? Will it be the same as the old one? That we won't know until we all see it. But one thing for sure, Lindsay Lohan's back. She's got it together, and Disney's taking their chance on her once again. Disney helped make her career, and now Lindsay Lohan is part of the Freaky Friday franchise once again. Are you excited for this new film? Do you think it will recapture the magic of the original? Let us know in the comments below. We want to hear it from all of you. Believable truths.